Hey you guys, it's Gemstone from tarothealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is your weekly reading for the 21st of September to the 27th. This is for the Libras. Your first card is Memories of Love, and your second card is Fertility. So what I see with these two cards is this could be a time where you are really thinking about the past. This could be about past love interests, things that you used to like to do in the past. This you could be thinking of your childhood things, or it could be even about past projects. Basically, that card, the six, is all about things from the past. um so it also can be a card that can represent soulmates as well. Thinking maybe of somebody that was a that is a soulmate to you, or if you feel maybe you really connected deeply with somebody and maybe you and that person haven't been in contact for a while, you might just be thinking, how that person is, or maybe even wanting to get in contact with them, or they might be getting in contact with you. um it also can be maybe you're thinking about doing something that you used to really enjoy doing when you was a child, or you did years ago, or maybe there was a project that you started, you never finished it, and maybe you want to pick it back up again and see if you can complete it this time around. But that's kind of what I'm getting the sense of. I feel like there's something that you need to bring into completion, and that might be why it's showing up again, because usually that's what happens. Even if it's somebody from the past, like a love interest, friend, anything, like usually when things come back from the past, it's because there's some kind of unfinished business there. So it might be a situation that maybe needs to be handled, or needs to be mended. So we'll see. The With the fertility card showing up next to, which is the Empress. The Empress card is under Venus, the planet Venus, and that's also Libra's sign. um that's also Libra's ruler. So there's this big feeling of love in these cards. So that's why I was really feeling like it could be somebody that you loved in the past. But then with it being the Empress, and fitting into like the theme of fertility, it could be showing that you might be thinking about having children, or you might discover that you're even pregnant. um, or it could be that you're just thinking about your life if maybe you had kids. It could be all that kind of stuff. But then I'm really seeing, even her heart chakra is glowing, and then she's touching her stomach. So there's something going on in terms of love and creation. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be creation in terms of a child. It can be creation in terms of a project, in terms of something that you're wanting to do, bring forward. Even if you're artistic, if you're a designer, if you are an inventor, all of those things come under creation as well. And those are things that, they have to be conceived. They have to, it's almost like an idea starts off in the dark. It starts in the darkness of your mind, the same way that a child, starts off in the darkness of the womb, and then when it's ready, it becomes birthed and it comes out into the wild. And so our ideas become, go through the same process. So again, these cards don't have to be really specific to just childbirth and motherhood and that kind of thing, which it very much can be. But then it also could be saying that this could be something else as well. But what I'm also seeing with this card as well, this second one, is that I feel like it's also talking about health as well. So it could mean that maybe it's a good idea for you to maybe uh, take some time out to think about your own health. I feel like this card is saying that it'd be really good to detox. It's really good to eat like some really good like plant-based foods and stuff, and I feel like it will help you with your womb, um and just all those, as I think as a woman, I think it goes between men and women. Our diets can definitely affect how we feel, how well our body operates. And I'm kind of seeing with that card that maybe, especially if you're a female, it will be really good for you to do a cleanse. And it will also be really good for you to maybe research and look into things that you can take that would actually help your womb as well. Because sometimes I think we tend to think that the only time we really have to think about our wombs is when we are trying to give birth or any something like that. But really, regardless of whether you're planning on having children or not, it is really good to see what what are the really good herbs or remedies, things like that, that you can also take to help you in terms of your own health and your own well-being. So that might be worth looking into as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting with these cards. The last card that showed up, which really I didn't think would be an advice card, but I feel like it is showing up in that way, like from the previous readings I've been doing, these weekly ones. And this card is trapped in fear. So it could be saying that maybe there are some fears or some concerns in connection with this message. So it could even be a case of maybe for some of you guys, you might discover that you are pregnant and you might be afraid. You might be thinking, oh my gosh, can I do this? Is this the right time? All that kind of stuff. And I can definitely understand that, because I think even though, having a child is like, it's great and stuff, but there is a lot to be considered when you are pregnant and stuff like that. So it could be showing up that way. But then it also could be showing up, and this is just a feeling that I got from the first time I laid down the cards. I also want to say that it's not for every woman to have children. Some women just make the conscious decision not to. And when I looked at this trapped in fear card, I also was feeling like, if you are a woman that has made that choice, then don't feel pressured by anybody else to have kids or anything like that. Because I think that can also be an issue as well, where sometimes people feel either like people want to put pressure on them, and then it just becomes a really negative thing. And it shouldn't be that way. It's a choice at the end of the day. So if it applies that way, then don't bother with people that say that, what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to live your life, because it's not for them to make that choice. But then I'm seeing here that you again, it could be that you're creating something and you are just worried about what the outcome is going to be or how it's going to go. And but I kind of get this idea that things haven't really been thought out with this plan or with whatever's been created, and so therefore some worries can be showing up here, and you might be feeling limited or restricted in terms of um knowing how to really handle this situation. So yes, it's normal to be afraid of changes, and I think that's kind of what is happening with these cards. Something is changing, something is different, but then it's kind of saying that it will be okay, because this card sort of represents more worries and fears. So it's not necessarily saying that the worst is actually happening, it's that you're kind of thinking of the worst. So it's also about kind of managing those thoughts and stuff as well, to kind of tell yourself that, you know what, it may not actually turn out as bad as what I'm seeing it to be. So yes, that's the message for you, Libras. Peace and many blessings to you. I'll see you. Bye.